Hey everyone, my name is Josh Kroenke. Yeah, just like the owner of the Denver Nuggets. But I'm not into basketball or management, and I'm definitely not a billionaire. What I do know is cars, and that's exactly what I talk about on this channel. Alright, enough with the intro. Let's get into today's topic.
December 24th, 2022, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Off-road lighting is fantastic, and a sign of that may be the white lights that more and more cars have adopted. However, science says that you should have yellow off-road driving lights and not white. Does the color of off-road lights really matter? Yellow off-road auxiliary lights are better for seeing in the dark off-road and in snow, rain, and fog. You may have heard that the argument in favor of yellow light is that it can reduce glare and doesn't scatter as much in fog. According to Dr. John Bullough, Program Director of the Department of Population Health Sciences and Policy and a staff member of the Center for Research on Light and Health at the Icahn School of Medicine at Mount Sinai, that's part of the reasoning behind the law in France that required headlights to be yellow until the 1990s. But that's not really what's going on. How different wavelengths or colors interfere. However, the effect of different wavelengths, colors, of light on scattering by water droplets from fog or rain, or snow, is negligible, Dr. Bullough added, saying, the reason is that, even in the case of fog, the particle size is much larger than the wavelength of the light. When the particle size is similar to the wavelength, such as the molecules of gases in the air, short wavelengths, violet and blue, scatter more than long wavelengths, yellow and red. That's why the sky is blue. Short wavelength light that appears blue scatters more than longer wavelengths, but clouds, which are made up of larger, more fog-like particles, are white because all wavelengths scatter equally. Yellow rally lights work because of biology, not physics. The extinction coefficient of light does not vary much in the visible or even through the infrared, see accompanying paper, explains Dr. John D. Joannopoulos, Francis Wright Davis Professor of Physics and Director of MIT's Institute for Soldier Nanotechnologies. I think a more important question of the wavelength of light is related to the fact that the pupil decreases in size as it moves from red to blue wavelengths. To paraphrase the dense paragraphs of scientific block quotes, our eyes respond well to yellow light waves because our visual systems seem to prefer shorter wavelengths in low light situations. If you remember what you learned about rods and cones in high school science class, you may recall that we only use cones to see in daylight. At night, we use both rods and cones to perceive light. Rods have their maximum spectral sensitivity in the blue-green part of the spectrum, which corresponds to shorter wavelengths than cones, which have their maximum sensitivity in the green-yellow part of the spectrum, longer wavelengths, adds Bullough. In addition, the rods appear to be more sensitive to motion and blowing snowflakes and even fog, and falling raindrops can increase the sensitivity of the rods. That means that if the headlights contain more short wavelength, blue/green, energy, they will make blowing snow/fog/rain more visible, more distracting, than it would be with yellowish headlights. Yellow auxiliary lights work better than white ones. This is great news for those who want to drive cooler-looking cars and see better while doing so. Yellow tinted lights do work, but not for the reasons the internet braggarts claim. In conclusion, investing in yellow off-road driving lights can significantly enhance your driving experience. Their ability to cut through fog, rain, and dust provides improved visibility and safety on challenging terrains. Additionally, the unique color helps reduce glare, allowing for a clearer view of the road ahead. Whether you're an avid off-roader or simply enjoy exploring the great outdoors, yellow lights can make a noticeable difference. So, consider equipping your vehicle with these lights for a safer and more enjoyable adventure. Thank you for watching, and drive safely.